Joining me now to look at the situation is someone who is living it every day. Kira Rudik is a member of the Ukrainian Parliament, and she joins me from the capital of Kyiv. Ms. Rudik, first of all, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can we start with the situation tonight in Kyiv? What is the situation? What's happening now in terms of Russian attacks and bombings in Kyiv?
Well, today the situation is more quiet than before, but we anticipate that at night it could get worse. So that's why we are always ready, and we are getting ready to a siege that is coming up, because we know that Russia is throwing more and more forces onto us.
Can we ask you about that? What are you hearing in terms of how, because we've seen so many other cities that are either now encircled or have been taken over by Russian forces. What are you hearing about the potential siege of Kyiv and when it might happen?
So we suppose that the siege could happen within the next a week or so. They are bringing up more and more troops to surround the city, and we just getting ready. So after a week of war, we understand that Putin is capable of doing anything. So that's why we are also should be ready to everything.
Okay, I want to ask you about something that we saw today. The head of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, but also our Prime Minister, again repeated their statements that NATO and its countries have no plan for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Your response to hearing that again from NATO?
Look, tonight also something happened. Is Russia throw a bomb onto a nuclear plant? And that was something that would affect not only Ukraine, that would affect the whole Europe, that will affect the whole world. And I think NATO nations should understand that radiation is not asking what your passport is and are you a member of NATO or not, and what's going on with your country right now. So that's why it's something that will have to be done now or later. And I'm sure that at some point we will get a no-fly zone. I'm only worried that it wouldn't be too late, because we cannot protect ourselves from the sky. We can try, we can fight on the land, we can do whatever it's necessary, whatever is possible. However, we cannot just do it, and that's why we need a help and support. And what happens if Putin will go ahead and continue bombing the nuclear plants? Then everybody will be condemning him as they are doing it right now? I don't think so. So this is why it's super important that NATO nations do understand it, and that this is a threat to the whole world right now that is happening. And again, we warned the world that condemnation with them wouldn't have, with Putin, it doesn't work. Condemnation is not the thing that scares him.
What about, I mean, I've heard some of your fellow leaders, though, in Ukraine saying that they're now getting used to the concept, after having been told it by NATO time and time again, that there won't be a no-fly zone, that NATO is not ready to take that step. We hear NATO leaders all saying they think it could precipitate a third world war, a nuclear war, when NATO leaders continue to repeat, though, that they have no intention of doing that. You're still optimistic it could happen?
Well, I'm optimistic that it will probably not happen all the way when Jens Stoltenberg is coming out and saying, oh, hello, we decided to provide a no-fly zone. Yeah, well, this probably not the way that it would happen. But we can get additional supplies, additional weaponry. And my suggestion to all the generals that I've been talking to is to say, it's not us. Putin is saying it all the time, all the ways. It's not us. So this is what we should do.
Okay. Can I ask you, as a member of Parliament, your Parliament sat again. You met for a special meeting. It was held under high security. I think it was also where you were meeting, I think, was kept secret. I'm not sure about that. But so you met again. Why was it important for you as parliamentarians to meet in Kyiv again?
Well, first of all, it's a symbol that every Ukrainian is fulfilling his or her duty right now. Doctors are working during the war, soldiers are fighting, and teachers are teaching, and we as parliamentarians need to be working, need to be coming and voting for the important legislation for our country. And this was very symbolic, that no matter that our intelligence team said, no, not at all, like red alert, that people from all over the country came in together and came in to vote for the important parts of new life that we are facing, the life at war. And we voted for it, and we were singing national anthem. It was very dramatic, but also very inspirational. You know what one of my fellow politicians said, who is not a parliamentarian? He said, now I do not distinguish you anymore with the faction oppositions. You are just like our parliamentarians whom we hope that will do the right thing.
I have to ask you about reports we saw this week in the Washington Post and across the world of alleged assassination teams that have been sent by the Russians to try to assassinate President Zelensky and other senior government officials. Now, we've been told that 2 of those teams were intercepted, killed or wounded. There's also reports of potentially others. Are you concerned, as members of Parliament, that you are under particular threat in terms of your own personal safety?
Well, there has been distributed a Putin's kill list, and I know I'm on this list, but I'm not too worried about it because, well, we'll have to protect ourselves from Russian soldiers anyway. So this is like a matter right now or a more global threat. It's either we win against Putin or we die, and then like it doesn't really matter who is attacking who.
We have reports, and you see them, I mean, you're closer to it than we are, of other cities where the civilian damage, the damage to civilians where ordinary people are living, schools, high-rise buildings, medical clinics are being destroyed, and hundreds of people are being killed. There are forecasts it's just going to get worse, and you just mentioned you're expecting a siege of Kyiv any time now. How much further can the defenders of Ukraine go?
Well, we can go as far as our life takes us. We have supplies for 14 days right now, and we do really hope, that during that time we are getting the no-fly zone or additional support. Okay.
And you have signed up for the militia? The pictures of you with a submachine gun to defend your neighborhood and your area, your district?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to wish you safety. I want to wish you success. I want to wish you all the best. And thank you very much for speaking with us. We will keep in contact, and good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.